All right, folks, inside the locker room here in Oklahoma City. Raptors getting set to play the Thunder tonight, and it's a new venue for us. We usually find a place outside or a hotel room, but the guys are working away. Kevin DiPietro, Paul Elliott, the guys in charge of setting up the locker room for the guys. It's an all-day thing for them. They are at it, and it is game day here in Oklahoma City.
New building in a sense too, right? No longer the Ford Center.
Right.
You know, the Oklahoma City Arena, is that what they're calling it now? There's no sponsor, so if you got a couple $1 million, maybe you could throw a deal at the city of Oklahoma or at the Thunder folks and get your name slapped up on the arena. I mean, heck, it's more money than they'd have right now. Jones, you got like 50 bucks or something?
I don't have anything.
Get your naming rights for the night. Actually, no, save your millions and just give it to us for the
Vancouver franchise.
Yeah, the Vancouver franchise. I think we've even already named it. We're pushing for the Vancouver Yetis. So we'll see if that maybe actually happens. You like that, the Yetis?
I was kind of hoping for maybe the Mounties or something, you know, keep order in Canada.
Well, I don't mind that as well.
Raptors are going to try and
we'll have to name the team contest later. Once
right.
we get our 250 million or 350 million. I'm still waiting for that call from Jim Balsley. Now, he might be a little bit busy now because he might be trying to line up a bid for the teacher's pension fund, but we'll get into that another time.
That's another day. The guy they got to keep in order tonight is Kevin Durant. The Oklahoma City Thunder have won 6 games in a row. The last 6 all against the Eastern Conference. Raptors are sitting on a, well, almost franchise high, 14 franchise high tying 14-game losing streak on the road. Something's got to give tonight. If you're a Raptor fan, you're hoping that they can pull off a win here in Oklahoma City. Look, last time they played, no Kevin Durant, but it was a win for Toronto. Raptors shot 54.9% from the floor. And you think about these guys, Oklahoma City, a playoff team, no question. But they've got some issues in some areas, Eric, and maybe that trade for Kendrick Perkins will address it.
Well, and that's one of the things I talked to Jose Calderon about, and you're going to hear that interview on our pregame show tonight, and he was saying that the first time we played, it was early in the season, so as much as we're impressed with ourselves and happy with the win and everything else, Durant wasn't playing that night. It was early in the year, so it was early in the year for them in terms of the cohesiveness. It was early in the year for us before we went through a lot of issues, and it's been a long year for us. And he said also, that trade, you're right, Jonesy, maybe it's still working out the kinks, but they have won 6 in a row, and they might be a better team, as Jay Triano said, more of a traditional team, now that they have those 2 bigs in the front court with Ibaka, with Perkins, as opposed to maybe being more of a free-flowing team that went more with the athleticism of a smaller guy, not a traditional bruiser up front with Jeff Green. So that maybe possesses some issues for the Raptors, or maybe plays into their hand a little bit in terms of trying to, you know, use their strength and their size of the versatility of their front court with Johnson and Bargnani, and now with Reggie Evans back and Ed Davis. So yeah, we'll see. It's certainly not going to be easy by any means. But no, this is a team that, man, oh man, this is going to be a team to watch for years to come.
Well, right now they're slotted to have a playoff series with Denver, and that's interesting because we'll be in Denver tomorrow night. We'll get a look at that.
That's always a fun back-to-back too.
Any back-to-back in Denver is crazy. But Oklahoma City, as Eric talked about, and Jay Triano, maybe more of a traditional team. The trade of Kendrick Perkins. Now they are near the bottom in points in the paint allowed and second chance points allowed. So you would hope maybe that's what they're trying to address by making that deal. And he's a guy who brings playoffs, finals, and championship experience to this team.
It was interesting to listen to Triano's take on that trade as well. And it's one of those things that at the time, a lot of folks in Boston were flipping out about it.
Head scratching.
And people in Oklahoma City were saying, man, slam dunk, we won this thing. Well, it's worked out fairly well for both teams in that the Thunder haven't skipped too many beats, and as Jonesy mentioned, maybe the numbers aren't there quite yet, but yet you're still getting the ultimate number, which is the win. And in Boston, Jeff Green's bringing a lot of versatility to that team, and you know, dare I say, you know, kind of playing that role of a Rasheed Wallace in terms of more of a long guy that can stretch the floor. He's not exactly the same defender or rebounder, but you know, they haven't exactly skipped too many beats since making that move either, and so they address some youth and some athleticism, and they get themselves better and set themselves up for the future. And Kristich has played well for them as well.
Well, look, and let's face it, if you're Boston, one of the things you need is perimeter defense. And with Paul Pierce, as good a player as he is, having to guard, well, in the finals he had to guard Kobe. Let's take a look at the East. There are guys on the perimeter that Boston would have to guard. Maybe you get Jeff Green doing some of that, and it saves Paul Pierce for offense. So I think it's a trade where both teams benefit, both teams trying to play to strengths. And speaking of which, you'll be interested to hear my interview with Mike Anorai, assistant coach for the Raptors. as we talked about. We brought him one of the questions from the post-game show about playing to players' strengths, and you'll be very interested to hear the answer. You have to tune into the post-game, the pre-game for that.
All right, so Micah Nora, Jose Calderon on the pregame show tonight, a regular chat with Jack Armstrong as well, and there'll be more to come on the pregame show as well. And this is the first of 5 games in 7 days for the Raptors. So a very busy week coming up for the Raptors and for us. So lots of vlogs this week as well, Jones.
We'll be with you as we take it down towards the end of the season, the last big road trip.